Messiah Foundation International is a spiritual, non-religious organization which consists of people belonging to different cultural, national and religious backgrounds. And the aim of this organization is to invite upon people who appreciate peace, dignity, and love. In the light of the teachings of His Divine Eminence, Lord Rariya's Gohar Shahi, we also inform different fractions of humanity throughout the world that the world is now in a very sensitive phase of its life, and it has become so fragile and volatile that the world leaders ought to be very careful before they say anything, before they do anything. And we underline the need for every person responsible to recognize these atrocities, barbaric acts of brutal killing, carnage, butchery of human beings throughout the world. Wherever a human being is killed, it is deplorable. And we abhor such acts. And we're working to raise awareness of the value of human life among all nations of the world. And I would like to emphasize on determining the root of radical Islam. The radical Islam today is nothing but a Pandora box of misconception and a pseudo-fabricated, concocted anthropology of idiots. Going back to the original form of Islam, which was conceived by Prophet of Islam, Prophet Muhammad, who loved humanity and who showed enormous amount of humility in his action. Even when he returned to Mecca victorious, he was sublime in character, and his heart was full of mercy, and he did not oppress the minority. He allowed everybody to continue to what they believe in. And those radical Muslims today who enforce their fabricated philosophies of their concocted version of Islam should be identified separately from those who practice original form of Islam. And these terrorists do not become terrorists without anybody teaching them to be. In mosques, different mosques, not all the mosques. In religious seminaries, again, not all religious seminaries. There's a particular group of denomination within Islam who is unfortunately and very discreetly promoting hatred, intolerance, and terrorism. These hate preachers must be identified in earnest, and they should not be at large. They should be behind the bars immediately. I would like to remind my listeners a tradition of Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad said, "Love for your country is part of your faith." So I would like to tell all Muslims, those who live in the United States of America, love for your country is part of your faith. If you're a Muslim, then you are on the side of your country. You protect your home, you protect your country from these terrorists. If you're living in the United Kingdom of Great Britain, then protecting the United Kingdom of Great Britain is part of your faith against all terrorists. And if you happen to see a group of hate preachers, then you should feel this responsibility to report it to a nearby police station before any untoward incident might take place. Do you understand my point? It is the responsibility of protecting your country, whether you live in the UK or you live in any country of Europe or you live in the United States of America. The responsibility of protecting the country you live in must be shared by the public as well as by the security agencies. If the public gets involved in keeping an eye on all the suspicious and malicious offenders who make filthy schemes to carry out atrocities and acts of terrorism, or who hold meetings in which people are incited and provoked to carry out terrorism, you must report it to the police. Do not think It's not your responsibility. Don't think it's just the responsibility of the security forces, because security forces cannot be everywhere. They are not God. If you share the responsibility with the security forces, I think you're not just helping the security forces in your country, but at the same time you're doing a favor to yourself. Messiah Foundation International rejects, denounce, condemn all forms and all types of terrorism and hate preaching. We condemn and denounce all sorts of terrorism and all sorts of hate preaching, whoever they are. And radical Islam has become a monster. Nobody should belong to radical Islam, because radical Islam has nothing to do with Prophet Muhammad. Radical Islam has nothing to do with God. Radical Islam has nothing to do with peaceful Muslims. It is a set of mind-boggling, hateful, fabricated, concocted beliefs of idiots. And we denounce all these idiots with all their lunatic philosophies.